Have the Americans been deceived about Brexit? It seems so. American late-night chat show hosts, comedians, and Michael Moore have all used Brexit to belittle US voters and to cajole the American electorate to reconsider Trump as president. There have been negative interpretations on the Brexit outcome, covering economic, political, but mostly racist perspectives. All, however, seem to miss the real problems with the EU and the consequences for the citizens of all the member countries. For some, perhaps the EU is seen as a starting version of something similar to the United States. This, however, is not the case, as there are significant differences. Firstly, language and culture from one state to the next are very different. Even Germany, Austria, and Switzerland all have their own unique and culturally influenced versions of the German language. Social attitudes differ between states too. The French are far more social in their attitudes, and this is reflected in the reporting of their news. The Germans concentrate on economics and the strict rule of law. The British concentrate on their own very personal form of realism. So the EU is by no means an ideal match, and lacks sufficient common ground as exists within the United States. Britain wanted to be a founder member of the EU, but was blocked by the French for years. This was probably motivated by the fact that the French needed another additional way to make Germany pay for the Second World War. But for the UK, this had a far greater impact on the citizens' acceptance of the EU. Few and no significant EU institutions are located in the UK. Germany has the European Central Bank, France and Belgium share the Parliament, so Britain, as the third of the big three, not only had the physical divide of water, but also lacked an institution that was both in the news and on British soil. Over the years, anyone tuning in to political debates in the British Parliament would always hear at the end of the debate on EU legislation that it would not undermine British sovereignty. This further undermined the perspective on the EU as a legitimate and trusted influence on the UK law. This position was expressed by both the main political parties, Conservative and Labour alike. The UK press also played a role in undermining the European benefits and presented a biased and negative view, as it either sold papers or gained viewers. In addition, years of the EU being the political excuse for bad party politics, it significantly influenced the British public's view of Europe. Over the years, the EU has undergone a metamorphosis and has applied influences that are not beneficial. Significantly, none of the citizens of Europe had much say in these issues. There are EU rules that outlaw or make economically unviable various industries. There are political changes giving power to people who are remote from the electorate, and in some cases, these appointments are not even democratic. The British people living this reality expressed in the Brexit vote a frustration and mistrust with the EU that has existed for decades and culminated in the final straw. There are too few lower-paid jobs and lower-skilled jobs to go around. Uncontrolled immigration of more people makes what few opportunities still exist disappear faster, and the EU made this happen. In this context, the vote in Britain against Europe was surprisingly low.